Imagine if every time a tech giant wanted to build a new data center, the government just handed over the land, the power, the tax breaks, and the financial backing to make it happen. Well, that's no longer hypothetical, it's happening right now. In the last few weeks, governments across the world, from France to India to the United States, have announced they're essentially building AI infrastructure on behalf of tech companies. We're talking about billions of dollars in state support, preferential electricity deals, prime real estate, and massive tax breaks, all flowing to the same handful of AI giants like Nvidia, OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft. This isn't a story about innovation or fair competition anymore. It's a story about governments literally competing with each other to become the infrastructure providers for big tech. The French are offering billions in subsidies and energy. The Indians are matching with their own packages, and the stakes for global AI dominance couldn't be higher. This geopolitical race could fundamentally reshape which countries control the future of artificial intelligence, who actually profits from the AI boom, and whether smaller nations get frozen out of the race entirely. This is the moment geopolitics and artificial intelligence collide head-on. Here's the thing: building AI takes incredible infrastructure. Nvidia's GPUs consume enormous amounts of electricity. A single data center can use as much power as a mid-sized city. OpenAI, Google, and other AI giants need endless streams of electricity, cooling systems, and physical space. For years, these companies relied on private investment and their own money to build this stuff out. But somewhere along the way, the game shifted. Governments started realizing something crucial: artificial intelligence isn't just about science anymore. It's about geopolitics. It's about economic power. It's about military capability. Whichever country controls the AI infrastructure controls the AI future. The pandemic accelerated this thinking fast. Supply chain disruptions during COVID showed governments how fragile they were. They learned that relying on one country for critical technology was risky. China has been investing heavily in AI for years. The United States didn't want to fall behind. Europe was nervous about dependence. India saw an opportunity to become a hub, so governments started making deals with tech companies. They started offering massive incentives: land, power, tax breaks, whatever it took to lure Nvidia, OpenAI, and other AI giants to build their infrastructure on home soil. This isn't just about innovation anymore. It's about infrastructure nationalism. It's about control. And that's where the real story gets interesting. So what exactly are these governments offering? France's Emmanuel Macron announced a massive AI investment plan. We're talking tens of billions of dollars dedicated to data centers, research facilities, and startup support. He's offering preferential energy prices to make electricity cheaper for AI companies. India's Prime Minister Modi went even further. He's proposing to build dedicated AI manufacturing zones with government-backed infrastructure. These aren't vague promises, they're concrete offers. Nvidia is already in talks with France to expand operations there. OpenAI is considering partnerships in India. Google and Microsoft are playing the field, basically saying they'll go wherever the best deal is. The terms are remarkable. Governments are essentially saying, we'll cut you a deal on power, we'll provide the land, we'll reduce your taxes, and in return, you build your AI infrastructure here. It's like a government auction where the prize is control of AI development. And here's what's wild. These offers are so good that companies are actually choosing to expand in these countries over cheaper alternatives. That's how powerful these incentives are. The deals on the table aren't just about tax cuts or subsidies anymore. They're about infrastructure investment at a scale we've never seen before for private companies. But wait, there's something nobody's talking about. Let's look at real money. France is investing around $5 billion into its AI infrastructure initiative over the next few years. That's not pocket change, that's a commitment. But India is thinking even bigger. Modi's government has talked about dedicating even larger sums to AI zones in cities like Bangalore and Delhi. The United States isn't staying silent either. Government agencies are partnering with Nvidia to build research clusters. Europe's governments, not just France, but Germany, Spain, and others, are all announcing their own AI infrastructure plans. And here's the commercial side. Companies like Nvidia have seen the gold rush. Jensen Huang, Nvidia's CEO, has been traveling to Europe and Asia meeting with government leaders. Why? because government backing means cheaper construction, cheaper power, and potentially cheaper chip production. Nvidia's H100 GPUs cost tens of thousands of dollars each. If you're a company needing thousands of them in a data center, a government that offers you $1 billion in subsidies becomes very attractive. Microsoft has already announced plans to expand AI data centers in multiple countries based on these government offers. Google is doing the same. The deals are real, the money is real, and the companies are taking them seriously. But this is where things get complicated. This is actually a replay of history. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union competed for space dominance. Both governments poured billions into rocket development. Kennedy didn't just let private companies build the space program. The government invested massive amounts because they knew whoever controlled space would have geopolitical power. The same thing happened with semiconductors. Taiwan became the global chip manufacturing hub partly because the government there invested heavily in TSMC, the company that now makes chips for everyone from Nvidia to Apple. China has been doing this for years with its own chip companies and AI initiatives, government backing, preferential terms, massive investment. Now the rest of the world is catching up, and they are playing by the same rules. But here's the scale difference. Space programs took decades and maybe hundreds of billions of dollars total across entire decades. Semiconductor manufacturing took similar timescales. This AI infrastructure race is happening faster and costing even more. We are talking about tens of billions per country, all happening within months, not years. France, India, the United States, Europe, China, everyone's making their bets at the same time. It's geopolitical poker played with AI infrastructure instead of weapons, and the stakes are absolutely enormous. Here's what this really means. Governments are essentially saying that artificial intelligence is too important to leave to the free market. It's going to be controlled, shaped, and developed by whoever has the most money and government backing. This creates a massive moat around the current AI giants. Nvidia, OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, they're getting billion-dollar government subsidies that a startup can never compete with. Imagine you're a brilliant researcher in Nigeria or Brazil or Poland. You want to build the next great AI company, but the government there doesn't have billions to offer. So the talent, the resources, the computing power, it all flows to France, India, the United States, wherever the government money is. This isn't just bad for competition. It's bad for global access to AI. AI development becomes concentrated in wealthy nations. Smaller countries get left behind. Even worse, the companies getting the subsidies now have massive incentives to base their operations, their research, their headquarters in countries offering deals. They're not doing this because they believe in the country's mission. They are doing it for subsidies, and once a country invests billions, they expect influence over how AI is developed and used. And this is where things get surprising. Government control becomes a real issue. So what should you actually watch for? First, government spending announcements on AI infrastructure. When a government announces billions in AI investment, that's a signal that they are playing the game. Second, corporate partnerships. Watch for tech companies announcing new offices or data centers in countries right after those countries announce government backing. It's not coincidence, it's strategy. Third, talent migration. If all the top AI researchers start moving to a specific country because of government funding, that's another tell. Fourth, intellectual property agreements. When governments start demanding that companies using their subsidies contribute patents or research back to the country, that's when you see control being exerted. Fifth, geopolitical alignments. Watch which countries align with which tech companies. France with European AI, India potentially with American companies or Chinese ones, the United States with its own. This is how you'll see the AI world splitting into blocks. Finally, the cost of AI access. As AI development gets fragmented, companies and researchers in some countries will have easier, cheaper access than others. That's the real power play. The countries with government-backed infrastructure will have the cheapest, fastest AI. The rest will be left behind. This is a slow-motion change that most people completely overlook. And here's what the headlines aren't telling you: it's already happening. So here's what this means for you. The age of decentralized AI development might be ending. The companies and countries that can afford government-backed infrastructure will shape AI for everyone else. And governments aren't just investing in technology, they are investing in geopolitical power. This change will likely reshape how AI gets developed, who controls it, and who benefits from it. In the next few years, watch for this to accelerate. More governments will announce more funding, more tech companies will make more deals, and the world will split into regional blocks based on where the AI infrastructure lies. Your access to AI tools, the capabilities available to you, and even the rules governing AI in your country, all of it will be shaped by these government bets. It's not a conspiracy, it's just how geopolitics works. Whoever controls the infrastructure controls the future. And right now, governments are betting that's them. The question isn't whether this will happen, it's already happening. The question is which countries and companies will win, because there will be winners and losers in this race, and that's what you need to watch for. Follow for daily AI news. You'll want to stay in the loop as this unfolds.